Okay. Day 2, Alchemy, Hinata. We are starting off playing against Rakdos Midrange, which is main decking a lot of value, threats, and hand hate spells, which is not actually a great matchup for us. We would much rather play against aggressive decks that just get beaten by on-curve removal. And unfortunately, this hand really doesn't function at all. So that is going to get shipped. This is fine. We can keep this. The hand hate spells are probably going to take Windfall, because most of them are Duress. But Syncopate is important for on-curve threats on 3. Duress might actually take Syncopate if it comes down this early. Depends on whether they have a 3-drop in hand that they're concerned about. Looks like not. No Rahilda. Good start. Okay. So the opponent knows about the Syncopate. Now they have Rahilda. Do I want it to turn day-night? They don't have anything. They have Graveyard Trespasser that cares about day-night. I think I'm supposed to let this happen. And then we just Cathartic Pyre this one. But opponent's missing the 3rd land drop. That's a good sign. Find another Windfall. I can live with that. Being able to Windfall next turn to set up for Hinata into Opus is probably ideal. I can't really afford to lose this Hinata. Too important a part of the game plan. I can't actually afford to play it out either. There's 6 main deck removal spells. Let's see. I don't believe that I was on the play. Do I want a second white source or a second blue source more? I'm going to go with a second blue source, probably. That should be their only main deck check for traps.
Announcement received.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
Round timer started.
Second white source. Play the Hinata. Set an upkeep stop. Hinata can't get removed here in response because the removal spells cost 3. 1, 2, 3. Tap, tap. 2 damage there. Pay all 3 mana. Alright. It looks like we have successfully drawn perfectly. And the opponent has drawn nothing. And now the Hinata tax should be too high for them to recover. Alright. I'll take that as a game 1 to start the day. Okay, well, unfortunately this matchup still isn't favored, I don't think. Well, what do we turn into post-board? The opponent brings in an additional check for traps, an additional duress, 2 go blanks. I don't even know what they're going to try to do. Are they going to try to be more disruptive or more aggressive? They could choose either. I can't bring in an Annul in this matchup. Do I want Wandering Emperor? It's probably important against Rahilda. I could change nearly nothing. I think I'm probably supposed to bring in a Behold against any Go Blank style deck. Likewise, against a Go Blank style deck, I think I'm supposed to go down on Windfalls and Galvanics. Try to move up actual card advantage. I definitely want Divine Purge. I'm confident of that. They have Lolth, Sorin, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Rahilda, Graveyard Trespasser, all of which encourage me to play Divine Purge. I could bring in the Abrades. Fateful Absence kills 4 toughness creatures. I think I'm supposed to keep Unexpected Conversion against hand hate decks. I could theoretically cut more Windfalls for Abrade. I don't think I want to. Okay, I gotta keep this because I don't want to go down on card size. I don't want to go down on hand size against a hand hate based deck, but this isn't actually a very good opening hand because it's pretty soft to early hand hate. Specifically, Hinata and Opus aren't actually cards I want to have in my opening hand. For Hilda. Okay. Behold is pretty good, though. Alright, and do I want a Fateful Absence the Rahilda at sorcery speed? I don't actually think so. I would stop it from turning to Night, but it doesn't actually matter to me that it's Night against their deck because they don't have the 3-drop Werewolf that gives haste. And specifically here, if they tried to do something that was like Graveyard Trespasser, then if I could get them to do it in the main phase before the Rahilda was dead, I'd prevent a point of damage for a turn. And it probably isn't relevant overall, but getting to deny them a little bit of information is fine. Alright, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is unfortunately very good. I might have to Cathartic Pyre this 2-2, but that results in them having an opening to play City Stalker Connoisseur. I might just have to let them have this 2-2 making a treasure for the time being. They discard one Rahilda. That means they probably have another? They only have 3 in total. I feel like I'm comfortable dividing this by 0. When I do, what am I getting? Probably just teachings. They can recast it, especially if they have a land drop. Otherwise, they have to use the treasure, which is sort of a win for me. No. Okay, so they don't use the treasure, but they duress me, which doesn't take Hinata. I don't have a second white source for a Divine Purge, which currently is going to be very good, especially next turn after Fable flips, but clearing out clues and treasures and the Fable token are all nice. I'm pretty incentivized at this point, I think, to play Hinata. Unfortunately, them having this 2-2 makes that weaker because they get to keep making treasures, but generally speaking, making their hand hate spells cost more is really appealing. Okay, found a white source. That's good. I believe I'm supposed to get this Hinata down. Bad case scenario would be if they have a 3-mana removal spell for Hinata, then they get to attack and use the treasures to cast Check with Traps. And they do have a lot of 2-mana removal spells, but I think at this point I just have to hope. None of my other options were actually good when they're just going to Check for Traps me again. Yeah. Not what we wanted to see. They might not actually take the Opus here, come to think of it, because it's not really castable without Hinata. They might be best off taking the teachings. Would be a very good time to find Divine Purge. Or another Hinata. Both would be good. Hinata would actually be stellar, like the best draw on the deck. Forsaken Crossroads. Okay. Alright, we're gonna set up a Scry then. I don't need another Magma Opus. I need to decide whether I want to kill Kiki-Jiki right now, or if I want to kill the Mana Dork. If they whiff on lands, killing the Mana Dork is better. I think I need them to whiff on lands. Like, copying a 4-drop... Oh, they can't copy a 4-drop with Kiki-Jiki. But them casting a 4-drop at all, especially if it's City Stalker Connoisseur that makes me discard this Magma Opus, makes it so that I have, like, no top decks that are viable. Yeah, that's pretty awful. Yeah. Alright. Okay. So I want to discard this Magma Opus, because if I cycle it, I'm going to discard the land. Unfortunately drew another Magma Opus, which leaves us with 1 remaining in the deck. That's definitely not what we wanted to see. More Fable Mirror Breakers is pretty rough. They copy City Stalker Connoisseur after our draw. Interesting. Divide by 0. Okay. So we actually get to fizzle this. I don't think casting Mascot Exhibition can win here, so I'm just going to take Environmental Sciences, fetch a land, play it, cycle Magma Opus, and just leave myself open to top-decking draw spells and shuffling Magma Opus back into my deck. Wait, there were 2 in the graveyard already? No, this is 2 in the library. Okay, okay. I'm waking up slowly. Let's see, what do we got here? On white, and let's grab blue. Oh, it has to be blue so I can cycle Magma Opus. Okay, good work. Good work, brain. Definitely didn't think about what was happening there, but success. Okay, by cycling this Magma Opus, we go up to 8 mana, which means when they... Okay, they don't... Oh, they are going to get the treasure to copy City Stalker Connoisseur in our upkeep. So we get to play spells with Flash, but that's it. The best thing that can happen is that we... Well, top deck Magma Opus first is the best thing that can happen. Second best thing that can happen is we top deck Behold the Multiverse and get to foretell it in response to the City Stalker Connoisseur on a draw step. Can't do anything with Windfall. That leaves us dead on board. Right? 7, 8, 10. Yeah, okay. That does in fact lead us dead. Still not sure about the Unexpected Windfalls. There were a couple of turns in that cycle where they actually felt important, though. Especially if I'm going to end up in situations where the opponent's holding up 2-mana removal spells often. Abrade's good against the Kiki-Jiki Saga, sort of, but also bad against that same saga. Galvanic Iteration is super good with Behold, but not stellar on its own. It's probably worth it just for the Unexpected Conversion synergy in the late game, though. Alright, I think I still have to roll with this. City Stalker Connoisseur is a good Magic card. We take the play. I hate mulliganing. Okay, this kind of fills some roles. Alright, we can get rid of the plains. We can play Stormcarved Coast. Then we can start holding up counter spells. Hopefully we don't get duressed on turn 1. Hey, we didn't. Cool. Okay, we can hold up white mana. Important to represent removal spells. Check for traps, gets disruptioned. Alright, making land drops and being open to top decking is an okay position to be in, as long as we top deck well. Alright, and now we are out of answers. I almost don't want a Silundi Vision here so that I can Galvanic Silundi Vision next turn. Yeah, that's painful. Go Blank's the kind of thing the Galvanic decks are not great against. Should I Silundi in response? There's the possibility I'm supposed to keep Galvanic here. Silundi could whiff. I think I want the information and I'm willing to risk the whiff. Okay, yeah, we're just going to take Behold then. Seems like the most aggressive way to recover from this situation. This is exactly why mulliganing in this matchup is so incredibly rough. That is a good set of draws. Tuck away our Beholds where they're safe and sound. Okay, Divine Purge, excellent to have against the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We have to Behold because we do want to hit our land drops. Divide by 0. Normally would be really good, but not here where we can't actually play it. Okay. So odds are this Magma Opus is getting discarded, but if not, if we Behold into Hinata plus untapped land, there's a chance. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is just such a radically strong card. Infernal Grasp and Townraiser Tyrant gone. Understandably. Those don't seem like the best cards. City Stalker Connoisseur does indeed get rid of Magma Opus. Nothing about my Behold the Multiverse could ever change that. Opponent holding up 2 mana. I don't know what that could be. Unexpected Conversion, interesting. Land, interesting. Definitely want the Unexpected Conversion. You'd probably find a land naturally. Wide Source, slightly preferable. I don't actually want to cast this Divine Purge this turn, though. I don't believe. Not when the Fable of the Mirror Breaker is coming down next turn that I kind of have to Divine Purge. Oh, they shocked it for the blood token. That's what it is. Wanderer. Okay, exile an instant or sorcery. I don't actually like Wanderer very much, but Unexpected Windfall is also bad, but it protects Wanderer from City Stalker Connoisseur next turn. I don't know if I can beat City Stalker Connoisseur anyway. Okay, yeah, let's thin Unexpected Windfall from the deck then, I think. Okay. Interesting. Let's hide the fact that we have double white. Wandering Emperor is protecting our Divine Purge. If we can get to the point where we have 8 lands in play, then we turn all of our Magma Opuses into viable top decks. It's really one of the spots in this game we want to get to. Ideally speaking, I'd like to Fateful Absence City Stalker Connoisseurs. I think I'd like to do that post-combat. It encourages them to spend more resources, and they won't be able to crack the clue token. They're gonna have to crack treasures for that to be the case, though. I don't know. I also need them to not have hand hate that hits Divine Purge, otherwise I'm in trouble. But the fact that they didn't animate Hive indicates that they're gonna play some stuff. All I can do is hope that it's a bunch of 3 and 2 mana stuff that are creatures. And I'm in a position where I kind of need to just hope if I want to come out of this. Okay, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's one of the things we wanted them to play. Now we want them to play another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Or like a Graveyard Trespasser. Some random creature 3-drop is ideal. Creature 2-drop is less ideal because they get to draw a card off of it, but as far as like tempo that gives me a chance to win this game goes, still there. Okay, so we get to blow up City Stalker Connoisseur. They get a clue token. We get a Syncopate? Alright, I can kind of work with that. We play the white source we so desperately hid, and we Divine Purge. They crack the clue. Then their board goes away. They get to loot the 2 cards that are in hand with the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They can even play more expensive Fable of the Mirror Breakers and Rahildas. No parts of that are fun, unfortunately. I guess I could Syncopate them. We're 1 land away from hitting 8. Weirdly, even though that's a bad draw, that's one of our better draws. I guess Divination hitting land is like our best draw at this point. Sorin. Yeah, okay. I don't really want that in play. Fateful Absence. Alright. I mean, I have Hall of the Storm Giants at this point, which is, like, moderately useful for me attempting to find lethal somehow. Alright, let's play Wanderer.
Now you've done it.
Make some tokens.
Let your blade do the talking.
I'm really incentivized to just kill this Kiki Jiki before they can activate it. But if I do that, I can't activate Hall of the Storm Giants. I could downtick Wanderer, have a double block for Hive. They can't copy Hive with Kiki, because it just turns into a land. If they copy the 2/2, I kill the 2/2 in response. Then animate Hive. I still got 2 blockers. Okay. Well,
May your blade strike true.
I'm okay with them trading either of these creatures. Okay, so from here we've gotten ourselves into a position where Magma Opus is a valid top deck. Oh, I can actually do Hall of the Storm Giants and Fateful Absence because it's not summoning sick. I forgot about that. Removal spell for Hall here that they can pay for? Or do they just want the extra treasure? Or did they forget about Hall? All potential options. Townraiser Tyrant's annoying in that it can hit the Hall. But I also really... No, that's actually just straight up extremely annoying. I can't really let them do that. Well, I mean, I can't stop them from doing it, but I can at least stop them from copying it and hitting a second land, because I do also need to actually pay for these lands. Wait, are they... They didn't target the Hall. You can target the Hall, opponent. I guess they didn't want to pay for the ward? Oh, wow. But that, like, actually gives me a chance. Is good too. Huh. Wandering Emperor uptick doesn't give vigilance. I can animate Hall of the Storm Giants and swing. Fable of the Mirror Breaker actually comes back tapped, so it's not a blocker next turn. Hall puts them to 8. But I can't play Behold if I do that, and Behold seems really important. Animating Hall on defense probably just doesn't matter here. Forcing them to attack Wandering Emperor seems good, but maybe just having more 2/2s that I can attack with is better? Having a 3/3 is probably best.
We've got the edge in this fight.
I want to foretell Behold the Multiverse, because that plays around hand hate. Alright, so we have the 3/3 to block the Rahilda. We can top deck Magma Opus at this point. They're pretty incentivized to kill the 3/3. If they kill the 3/3, do I have to Behold? Or do I just chump block Rahilda? Ouch. do either, huh? But they tapped enough mana now that I can bowl in response. I'm not worried about hand 8 spells now, and I can potentially hit a counter spell for this. Jwari Disruption. I can't really Divine Purge in this spot, but Jwari Disruption is excellent. The land is less excellent. Alright, that gives me a good block on Rahilda. Opponent can attack with Townraiser Tyrant, but kind of has to hold Rahilda back to block then.
Back to wandering.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I need to kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki before it untaps, which means I think just sorcery speeding this. Otherwise, them copying Townraiser Tyrant would be a problem. If I kill the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki on the upkeep, tap down Townraiser Tyrant, tap down Hive, I'm not getting in for damage here then. Do I have anything that matters for 1 mana? No. Okay, so I can sacrifice the land at this point and stop paying for it. Okay, now we have the Hull and multiple decent-sized creatures. City Stalker Connoisseur blocks the Hull. We're going to hope to top deck an answer to that. We have enough mana to play a 2-mana removal spell on City Stalker Connoisseur. Can't really race us currently with Townraiser Tyrant. They're incentivized to just go for a resource advantage situation. I can trade off the 4/4 in this spot. Yeah, trading off the 4/4 is to my advantage. That's an alarm. Why though? Oh, because I had to wake up for a tournament last weekend, so I set an alarm. That's why. Wow, this with the City Stalker? Okay, cool. I think. That makes my Hull stronger on future turns unless they have more Death Touchers? Or do they just want the 4/4 to block the 3/3, was their thought, and that they were going to try to find a different answer to the Hull, perhaps. Either way, they're definitely ahead on resources here. We have 2 Opuses down, 2 more that we can draw. Townraiser Tyrant. Animate the land. Last time they thought they couldn't do this, so we'll see if they think that again. I'm like scared to say anything. Oh my goodness, they didn't think they could do it again. Hinata's interesting. Trading the Hull off for a Townraiser Tyrant's pretty rough, though. I could just play Hinata. So if I animate the Hull, swing with the Hull, they double block, I get in 5 damage, put them to 5, but I can't do anything else. I think that's wrong. So I play Hinata here and Hinata gets removed, then I'm dead to another removal spell at sorcery speed. I'm going to have to sack the land at the end of turn. I can't afford to take extra damage. I think I can't really play around a removal spell here. So I think I just play Hinata. We're still sort of on the boat of top decking Opus and nothing else really works. Oh, I really hope that Auto Tapper helped me here. I don't think it did. I think I'm not going to be able to animate Hull if they play another Townraiser Tyrant, because I'm going to have to sack an untap land here. That's my bad. I should have double checked that. have the removal spell as well. Okay, well, second removal spell kills us. Yeah, there we go. That means I was dead even if I fired up Hull, though, come to think of it. They just don't block, eat the two smaller creatures, and then kill me on the backswing. Actually, attacking lost to... No, wait, that... I lost if I attacked there no matter what, because they just don't block the 7/7. So playing the Hinata was actually the only out. I just totally missed all that. Alright. Not good. Or rather, not good, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not a good process, but I guess I did come to the right result regardless. But, yeah. Not stellar. Though, I think that match is pretty tough. Top decking one Opus was, like, solid, but I think I needed to top deck a second to get back into that. Not mulliganing is also helpful, especially in that matchup, but yeah. Go blanks is not what this deck wants to see. Not when combined with a ton of removal for Hinata on curve. Alright, this time around we are on the play against blue-white control. I definitely don't want to mulligan, but this hand is... Well, we have a Scry. That helps a lot. But it's a little
Announcement
reliant...
received. Round timer started.
On being able to resolve this Behold the Multiverse on turn 2, which means we're a tiny bit soft to counterspell. Oh, thank goodness. Or we don't have to be. I probably should still resolve this Behold the Multiverse, though. The temptation to try to Galvanic Behold the Multiverse in this matchup is pretty strong, but I should just make sure I resolve this. And maximize the number of lands I can draw. Okay, we are all good to go. So as far as Foretell cards go, they have Doomscar. Do they have Behold? Yes, 2 Behold. Okay, so it could be Doomscar, could be Behold. That was on blue. So we want to represent red mana. And then we can just pass. If this is Behold, what am I afraid of at 4 mana on sorcery speed? Nothing, so we can just divide by 0 this. I can get Teachings, might be useful eventually. I could get Environmental Sciences. I think I'm actually supposed to get Environmental Sciences with this first one, and it's because I have Unexpected Conversion, and I want to convert Environmental Sciences into a real card. Opponent has missed a land drop. Okay, well, then we're just gonna win the game, I guess. Get to play Hinata with Jwari Disruption up. They could have foretold Doomscar and hit an untap land here, and then I'm sad, but like, I'm not actually out anything anyway. I'm still winning that. And if they don't hit an untap land here, I don't believe there's any way they can kill this Hinata through a Jwari Disruption. Okay, Behold the Multiverse. That does resolve. So let's see. Land here means that if I Galvanic on their upkeep, they can kill Hinata in response to the Galvanic. With 4 mana, I can't Jwari Disruption that. Double top. Untap land. Okay. Shouldn't matter too much here. Oh, I see. March exiling 2 cards, but I get to Jwari that. That's a fun little 3-for-1. With a Jwari Disruption. I'm not sure I've ever had that happen before. Okay, which begs the question of Galvanic. What do we do with Galvanic? I think I just go for 1 Galvanic. If they kill Hinata in response here, I just have to fire off the Magma Opus and I lose 1 Galvanic. But I think I have the cards necessary to just be okay with that. the glitch happening where you can't change the amount of damage that's being dealt to somebody's face. Still pretty awkward with Magma Opus. Luckily not a spot where this matters. So they have to be able to interact at instant speed here, otherwise this is lethal at sorcery speed. Whether that's interacting with the Hinata or interacting with one of the Opuses, both work. Assuming they do stop us from having lethal, the first thing that I'm likely to do... Okay, there's a negate, sure. I guess we're going to draw 2 cards, so I might not just end up Galvanicing Unexpected Conversioning. I might end up Galvanicing Unexpected Windfalling. Okay. Tranquil Cove. That's adorable. Okay, so combat and damage. And lands. And draw cards. Okay. Yeah. If I'm sorcery speeding Galvanic, there's not a ton of outs. Okay. So that was game 1. And my opponent didn't draw well. But that was the easy one. Now it gets harder, because 4 Malevolent Hermits and 4 Wedding Announcements come in. What else comes in? Possibly Discover the Formula? But mostly 4 Wedding Announcements and 4 Malevolent Hermits. I have no need for Fateful Absence. I don't have a particularly strong need for Cathartic Pyre. I do want Test, I want Stowaways, I want Behold, I want Disdainful Strokes. I know that. 4 Malevolent Hermits, huh? 4 Wedding Announcements. Gives me some incentive to actually run Divine Purge, weirdly enough. 4 Hermits and 4 Wedding Announcements gives them a decent amount of answers to Stowaway, but I think it's still worth having. Divine Purge isn't exactly a good answer to Malevolent Hermit, is the problem, because it doesn't actually matter that it comes back into play tapped. It's an okay answer to Wedding Announcement, but not like a good one. I could try just not having answers to Malevolent Hermit. That doesn't sound like a good plan, though. It kind of just sounds like a losing to Malevolent Hermit plan. I mean, I probably can't play Unexpected Conversion at the very least. It's sorcery speed. Which would mean Cathartic Pyre and Abrade. That's probably correct as far as what I'm supposed to play that can answer Malevolent Hermit. I imagine they're cutting all the board wipes and the annuls. Bringing in also the March of Otherworldly Lights then. I can't actually tell if I'm supposed to bring in Test of Talents here. Like, it's actually just bad negate in this matchup. No, they got Memory Deluge. Alright, I'm supposed to bring it in for Memory Deluge. This hand isn't great, but mulliganing sounds bad. Hermit hurts. Not a good spot to be fixing to miss my next land drop. Second Hermit. Okay, so we get to resolve Behold, which isn't actually good because we're on the draw. I think I'm actually supposed to divide by 0 here at the end of turn. No more blue sources. That's what I didn't want to have happen. Okay. I think we go to bounce a Hermit. I would be extremely happy if they sacrificed a Hermit in response here. No such luck. Okay, we get to take Environmental Sciences then. We hope they don't sacrifice to counter Sciences. From their perspective, this might look like a bait. Okay. That's good timing on the Memory Deluge. Kudos to them. I would have loved to have syncopated that after making this. Okay, so we get a second red source. Left in the same spot where I could Behold the Multiverse, but then I'd have to discard to hand size. Having to fight to make land drops like this is not the position you want to be in. Always could be that my opponent's in the same spot. But I doubt it after resolving a Memory Deluge. Interesting. Okay. So I can actually Behold in response to this, and now they're cut off blue sources on my turn, which lets me resolve Windfall. So they kind of just have to let the Behold resolve. I don't know why I'm doing it in response to this. There's not actually a reason to. As cool as Hinata is, I actually just need land drops more desperately right now. Luckily, I do have one more basic in the deck. It is a white basic, right? I do have one more basic in the deck. Please tell me I have one more basic in the deck. Yeah, okay. So they have successfully found more blue sources now as a result of that. Discard a card. Yeah. I can probably discard Windfall here. I'm not going to get a chance to use that anytime soon. Now I need to avoid dying to Malevolent Hermits. Which is gonna be tricky. Once again, this divide is just gonna resolve. They don't really have an incentive to counter it. Unless they really care about the clock, which I don't expect they do. They could try to go for a spot where they could resolve Wandering Emperor here. I would Disdainful Stroke it. They could counter with the Malevolent Hermit that's being targeted by Divide by 0. Alright, take Teachings. They don't go for that. Which doesn't terribly surprise me. More Opuses, which just are not useful right now. Emperor. Interesting. Okay, what if I were to Disdainful Stroke that? Okay. Hermits are tough. Could jam a Windfall here with the expectation it gets countered by a Hermit. We're approaching the point where my life total actually is a little delicate. What do I discard? Probably Syncopate? If this gets countered, there's a possibility I can resolve Teachings. Guess it's worse for me if they counter it from hand. What were you on? So we go with white. Scry. Don't want to land. Make a treasure. Then play Teachings. Try to draw 2. Counterable my Malevolent Hermit, but that gets a Malevolent Hermit off the board. Maybe I was just supposed to keep Hinata for situations like this. Plus the Syncopate. I don't know. I did need lands at that point. Okay, so they let that resolve. Down to 4. What other threats do we got here? Cathartic Pyre can buy us one more turn. Discover the Formula is pretty tough. Unfortunately, both Hermits here, and exactly enough mana to hold up both Hermits is brutal. I mean, I can kill the second Hermit and hope they don't have counter spells. That's just a pretty tough ask is the problem. Spells are uncounterable. It makes my life difficult. I like the Silundi Vision at this point. Galvanic's like almost interesting. I could divide by 0 Benevolent Geist. I think I'm supposed to take Galvanic. It's got the most hope here. 1, it could pressure them to actually try to kill me next turn, tapping out for the Benevolent Geist, which, not likely. Not likely that happens, but gives me an opening to Magma Opus, the 2 Geists that are in play. What do they exile? March of Otherworldly Light. Okay. Did not exile any from the deck. Interesting. Meaning they want 1 but don't want duplicates? Okay. I do not feel it is likely I can come back from this. It's pretty likely they have an answer to Magma Opus here.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you.
They can just not activate the Wandering Emperor here, is the part that, like, I can't actually handle. So I have to do 3 damage to this Benevolent Geist. And if I just pass here, they just do not activate the Emperor and go to their turn. Yeah, so make a 2-2 with Vigilance that can't threaten lethal. Geist is down. Emperor down. We draw 2 lands. That's not helpful. We march the 4-4. Oh, okay. Fateful Absence, the 4-4. That's a clue token. That's cool, right? They make their spells uncounterable. Or they make their spells cost less. That can also hurt. Yeah. Alright. You still kind of got to play the flyer, though. I mean, I've got the 4-4 to block. Or at least any kind of second threat, to be honest. This is almost starting to look like they're not playing Wedding Announcement. But it feels like a card that should come in against me. Okay, I was going to say. Unfortunately, this results in many threats. And not drawing cards that do things is rough. Yeah, alright. If that had been 1 card higher and we'd gotten to Galvanic it, I would have been real happy, but... well, it hypothetically keeps us in the game. I mean, there's a very real chance... there's very nearly a certainty they have a counterspell. But... it left us not dead to nothing. Which is something of a hope. Okay, yeah, Test of Talents. I still am not actually sure. Like, it's good against Memory Deluge, but I do already have Syncopates, and it's not good against other stuff. I don't actually think it's better than any of the other cards that I have in my deck right now. I would bring it in if it was in a gate, because then it would hit the Wedding Announcements, but no, I think we have to ship it. It really is the Malevolent Hermits that make this difficult. Okay. Absolutely Suspicious Stowaway onto Snap Keep. Now they can answer this. There are cards in their deck that do that. And Malevolent Hermit can be played on 3 with 2 blue. Does not need to be played on 2. Malevolent Hermit also stopping it from transforming to night is sad. Get to loot. Syncopate is nice. I'd probably rather bounce this Hermit than anything else. Would I rather bounce the Hermit, or... I'd probably prefer to bounce the Hermit. Non-creature spell. Windfall's the strongest spell I can play if we find an opening, though. I could just Abrade it, I guess. I'm probably actually just supposed to Abrade it. Alright, so we get rid of the Syncopate, play the land. Abrade the Hermit. No, I actually want that to die. I'm not supposed to flip it tonight. But... it's tough. Maybe I'm supposed to flip it tonight. But actually having that die is such a big deal. It makes every other card in my hand so much stronger. Yeah, Wedding Announcement's good. Need to hit this land drop. Alright, there's a plan. Do I want to resolve the Wandering Emperor while they're tapped out, or Unexpected Windfall? I probably want to resolve Wandering Emperor. I think I'm supposed to pressure them.
Let your blade do the talking.
They're still heavily incentivized to be sorcery speeding things because of Suspicious Stowaway. And if I can keep them from flipping Stowaway, that gives more openings for me to just resolve Windfall and stuff at sorcery speed. Like, I'm happy to be exchanging resolving sorcery speed cards back and forth, if that's what Suspicious Stowaway forces them to do. Because currently my hand is stocked with powerful cards that are worth resolving. Fateful Absence at sorcery speed. Okay. More Wedding Announcements. Okay. I'm willing to trade for these 2 Wedding Announcement tokens. And if not, I'm willing to trade for Clock. Hinata. They missed a land drop? Oh, that's just extremely worth playing. Do I want to make this land drop? I think so, and I think I don't want Unexpected Windfall now. We're just going to keep up the sorcery speed nonsense, I think. Attempt to clock the opponent. This is the weirdest play pattern with Suspicious Stowaway I've ever had, but I'm, like, highly convinced it's worth it for me to be forcing them to play stuff at sorcery speed. I'm getting so absurdly lucky in both of these games that I'm currently winning. They just have to do this to try to hit the land drop. Yeah, okay. Happy to trade a Hermit with a 2/2. Happy to do damage to the face. I can finally not play something at sorcery speed. So we flip it back to night. Or, well, we flip it to night for the very first time, which transforms the werewolf. I can play Behold to force them to sack the Hermit and crack a clue token. Well, I can't crack the clue token as long as they have 4 mana up. So if they don't counter the Behold, I just leave the clue uncracked. Oh, I was supposed to trim Hinata for... That's definitely what was supposed to happen. Oh well, it's working out. Okay. No auto tapper. That's like legitimately the worst possible way you could tap. That's not true. It could have left up Sundown Pass and Needleverge Pathway. That would have been slightly worse. Okay, so if they counter this, I can crack the clue. No, that's not true, because they can Fatefully Absent my Hinata. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What do I divide by 0 here? Do I divide by 0 anything here? If I divide by 0 the Fateful Absence, the Malevolent Hermit might divide by 0. I think that's worth it to me. It does not flip back to day, and I'm still resolving Behold the Multiverse in that spot. And if I divide by 0 the Hermit, they counter the Behold, which I do not want. So now I'm up 2 clue tokens, drawing a card with the Werewolf, resolving Behold, and putting my opponent on a 2-turn clock. That seems like the best combination of things that I can do. I believe I want to play another Stowaway here. Can't resolve that Opus, so we're not going to try. Alright, 2 unblockable lethal threats unless they turn it back to day. I'm willing to crack a clue here. I still have Divide by 0 up, and hitting untapped land gives us Magma Opus for lethal anyway. Not as cool. Alright, go to my turn. Play Hinata to increase taxes, or... yeah. Because even if they do stuff in response to Hinata, I can Magma Opus. I needed to have 2 blue. Okay. Taxes are more expensive. Combat and we get to swing with everybody. That should be game, right? Alright, I feel like I got absurdly lucky and that the matchup does not favor me, but I'll take a little bit of luck. I'll take it. Alright, we are playing against Arne Hushenbeth on Mono White Aggro. We get to be on the play. If I draw a blue source, this hand's great. Like, very nearly ideal.
Announcement received.
But I'm on the
Round
play.
timer started.
I think I got a mulligan. This isn't good enough against Thalia. And I got a mulligan again. Okay, this is actually playable though. Keep. I gotta pitch 2 is the problem. Alright. Well, divide by 0 is a little reasonable. We do actually get to make a Teachings of the Archaic into a draw spell after mulliganing to 5, so that's neat. Getting hit by Thalia here will kind of suck. Okay, Luminarch Aspirant I can handle, sort of. Only we can bounce, we can get a Teachings. Well, okay. That's also an option. Hinata could get Skyclave Apparition, which would make me sad, but I think this just gives me the most viable top decks. It's hard for them to play 2 spells in a single turn if they Skyclave Apparition me here, unless they can go land Skyclave Apparition plus Hopeful Initiate. But that's a tapped one. Okay, so there's the Skyclave. That should mean I get to draw 3 with Teachings of the Archaic here, I think. We're gonna go with 3rd red. Divide is fine. Draw multiple. Okay, that's reasonable-ish. Untap land lets us play Hinata Fateful Absence through Thalia. Wizard Captain. Okay. Wizard Captain hides the Thalia, but it is still in their hand. The Magma Opus is really, really good. So they need... If they go Thalia into Brutal Cathar, I can't handle that. Skyclave Apparition would also be bad for me. There's Thalia. I could respond. Do I want to? I've got the Divide by Zero anyway. I think I want to, and I think I want to hit the Skyclave Apparition to get a 4/4 token. Makes it hard for them to attack if they Skyclave Apparition my Hinata away. And if they Brutal Cathar my Hinata away. It's inconvenient, but not the end of the world. Still can't really attack. Okay, I think I actively want it to flip to Night here. That way another Brutal Cathar... I guess it doesn't matter whether Brutal Cathar is on which side. Anyway, the plan is to divide by 0 that Moonrage Brood at the end of turn. My life total is high enough that I can kind of just live with that. Alternatively, if they end up playing another Evangel here, pre-combat, I can hit the Moonrage Brute. I guess I can actually... Okay, yeah, this works stellar. I can bounce the Moonrage Brute after it attacks and get a block with the Hinata. And they don't have the mana to kill the Hinata. Which means I get to Galvanic Magma Opus after I block and kill the Thalia. And that should just win the game. If they don't attack with Thalia, then 3 mana for Galvanic, 3 mana for Opus. Okay, I can still Galvanic Opus even if Thalia is in play with 6 mana. Costs 3 mana to Opus and 3 mana to Galvanic. Means I get to kill the Thalia, the Evangel, the Evangel, the Evangel, and I guess not even the Hopeful Initiate. Yeah, that's not ideal, because I can only kill stuff with 2 toughness with 2 1-damage Opuses. But, I mean, killing Thalia and all the Evangels would be good. Alright, this is also just better. I think my opponent just shouldn't have played the other Evangels pre-combat and could have played around this, because all they have to do is represent playing the Brutal Cathar post-combat, and I have to take this entire hit, and don't get to kill the Thalia. Okay, land drop. Now what does this mean? Galvanic. Only 1 Galvanic because I didn't hit an untapped land. Magma Opus is going to be able to deal 2/1/1. No, 2/1/1. 2/1/1. Leave 1 Sigardian Evangel. So I should probably attack. I think I'm fine with any block they could make here. It's better for them to make this block, but I think the resources are so irrelevant to me that it's just okay to make the attack anyway. What do we have in terms of instants, I suppose I should look up? Nothing really? Wandering Emperor? Nah, that's fine. Oh, okay, I wasn't supposed to attack specifically to play around Wandering Emperor on the upkeep. Exile Hinata in response to Galvanic Iteration. Okay, I didn't think about that. Misplay. Okay, they don't have it. Lucky me. Okay, so 2 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, and then 2 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage? Yes. That is the way we want to do it. Not trying to orient damage around Wandering Emperor. I have... This is the best mulligan to 5 I've seen in a long time, says the opponent. I agree. I do love teachings making mulligans less awful. Quite a bit. Okay, so we get to play Divine Purge and Abrade post-combat. We get to trim Windfalls and Galvanics. Is there anything else I wanted to bring in, or anything else that I wanted to trim? What are they bringing in? 3 Fleeting Spirits, 2 Adelines, 2 Elite Spellbinders, 2 Valorous Stances, 1 Guardian of Faith, 1 Wandering Emperor, cutting 2 Portable Holes, 3 Archon of Emerias, possibly 2 Brutal Cathars, though probably not. No. Well, it's always interesting against mono white, and especially against Thalia, whether I'm supposed to cut Unexpected Windfall or not. I don't really think I have anything that I can afford to bring in instead. If the Stowaways were eggs, I could bring those in this matchup and just cut more 4-drops, but not acceptable here. So we'll just have to roll with it. This isn't actually great, but it is acceptable. Yeah, we're going to lead on Sundown Pass here, and then play Hengegate on blue, so that I can cycle Magma Opus in response to a Elite Spellbinder. Elite Spellbinder hitting Magma Opus is pretty brutal otherwise. Adeline. Alright, that's going to be a problem. I think I'm still cycling the Magma Opus then. Divine Purge. That's pretty stellar, actually. Is that just what I want to do here? I could also play Hinata. Brutal Cathar, I could seriously punish. Skyclave Apparition would be tougher, but... Oh, that's a good Divine Purge draw. If I Hinata and they play Spellbinder, stealing Divine Purge. Divine Purge costs 6. I don't have the treasure at that point. Adeline attacks. I think I'm actually still okay with that because I have Hinata in play. Crossroads is the second white source and it comes into play untapped because I was on the draw. Okay. This is going to be painful, but we can recover from this. The faces haven't hurt, so... Was that already there? I don't recall. Oh, no, we could just draw an untap white source. That works too. Whoop. Get our 4/4 token that can block Faceless Haven. Life total is scary, but tempo has been reestablished. Brutal Cathar clearing out the 4/4 token is going to be pretty rough from here on out. But we have another Hinata to deploy. So if all they do is like play a Thalia here, we are very happy. We even get to do that while setting up a scry with Forsaken Crossroads. What color do I want Crossroads on? We don't have a lot of double red stuff anymore. But we've already got double white. And triple red usually ends up being more useful than triple blue. Hopeful Initiate for 3. Fleeting Spirit. Okay. We can handle these. Yeah, so now definitely third red, because we have a third blue off Hengegate anyway. Scry 1, don't want to land. Do want Hinata. Then pass the turn. Oh, I love 4/4s against mono white. Alright, we're not out of the woods yet. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition again on Hinata, but eats their entire turn and sets us up with more 4/4s. I think I just foretell Behold. If they end up not hitting a land drop and playing Adeline, I can Jwari Disruption it. If they Brutal Cathar the 4/4 token, I can divide by 0 the Skyclave Apparition after attacks. Best case scenario for me here is they play Adeline and then attack. Well, they play Adeline and then I Jwari Disruption it. That is to say. And then don't actually attack, I guess, at that point. Best case scenario is they play Adeline without playing a land. And then I get to Behold. So Guardian Evangel tapping down my 4/4 Rude. Okay. Possibly tapping down something else first, I suppose. They might go for a land first. No, because I can float the mana and they still have to tap down the creature main phase 1 anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, okay. So now I don't actually get to ambush any of these creatures, unfortunately. We're just going to divide a Skyclave Apparition, get our 4/4. That Skyclave Apparition still costs 5 after being divided. Mascot Exhibition's pretty tempting. The Jwari Disruption is not actually going to be useful anymore. They've already played a land, so if I go Jwari Disruption, I can Teachings of the Archaic. I'm going to have 2 4/4s against their board next turn, which just gives them lethal swinging in. I don't think I have time for Teachings. If I hit an untapped land, Mascot Exhibition's pretty good, though. So I think I'm just supposed to take Exhibition. If I don't hit an untapped land, then I still have Behold the Multiverse. I kind of think they're actually supposed to attack there and then blink the Fleeting Spirit. What? Oh, to play around board wipes. Okay, yeah. Well, we hit the untapped land, so we're just going to Mascot Exhibition it up. No attacks. Skyclave Apparition can't hit tokens. Adeline here is pretty big, but we have a lot of 4/4s sitting around. How many Sigardian Evangels? 4. So at some point, a lot of stuff gets tapped down, and actually, Sigardian Evangel here is just enough to kill me. I can't really play around that. Inquisitor Captain. Okay, Inquisitor Captain for Sigardian Evangel isn't good enough. Brutal Cathar would be pretty brutal. Archon of Emiria. I mean, it's good against the 2/1, but otherwise not actually scary. The restriction on casting 1 spell a turn doesn't actually affect me too much. So they still have a 5-mana Skyclave Apparition. Divide by 0, can target Archon of Emiria. Supposed to sorcery speed this Behold. What is this on red? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't want a Windfall right now. Galvanic Opus. Okay. Interesting. I can't Galvanic anything now. And Archon actually stops them from playing multiple Sigardian Evangels. which is their method of getting through my 4/4s. I think I'm probably just supposed to chump block the Archon, because limiting them to one spell this turn is actually extremely good for me. So I don't want to divide by 0 that Archon. Strangely enough. I might be able to divide by 0 at the end of turn if I wanted to, but more likely I'm going to wind up dividing by 0. Hopefully something they cast from exile. The Adeline would actually be sort of stellar. Hopefully that's what happens. Thalia. Yeah, I can divide that, no problem. But I can also do that post-combat. Or, well, at the end of turn. So we're going to get rid of the Sigardian Evangels and the Fleeting Spirit with the Magma Opus, I believe. We can grab Teachings of the Archaic, because their hand is still loaded with super expensive stuff. Or we could Wandering Emperor. I do sort of need to kill this Archon of Emeria eventually, but I don't know if eventually is now. I could Sorcery Speed Magma Opus to hit the land drop. I don't believe I want to do that. Wait, what did they discard earlier to that Fleeting Spirit? Oh, the Final Evangel. Oh, that's a cute synergy. Okay. I could play Wandering Emperor, downtick on Archon of Emeria, Teachings, but I think I still lose to Guardian Evangel at that point. I think I'm just supposed to accept that Wandering Emperor is going to be my eventual answer to Archon of Emeria, and that I can afford to take a little bit of damage here. So we're going to go with ping, 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 ping. Tap, tap, I believe. They can discard something to save the Fleeting Spirit, but I'm not killing anything else with 1 damage anyway. I guess I could go to face, but I'd rather make them discard a card than do 1 damage to their face that seems mostly irrelevant. They discard a Thalia. Yeah, I mean, that still feels like resource for me. I guess it makes Teachings of the Archaic weaker. Oh, Teachings of the Archaic can never actually resolve against them if they have that Fleeting Spirit in play, huh? That's cute. But we have things we can discard it to. Oh, I guess I could have grabbed the thing that gains 2 life instead. Would have been, like, potentially better. 4, 3, 2. So I actually do stand to benefit from playing an untapped land here, which doesn't come into play untapped because of Archon. Right. So I could have Sorcery Speeded Wandering Emperor and then killed Archon and played that untapped, but oh well. I don't know if this is a point at which I'm supposed to start attacking, but I feel like that still leaves me hurt by Sigardian Evangel. At this point, they can play 4 Sigardian Evangels, tap down 4 of my things. I think that might not kill me yet, but it would be rough. Oh, no, they can't because of Archon. Right, that's part of why not killing the Archon is still useful. Not until I have to, which might be this turn. To be fair. I might be able to just ignore the Archon for 1 more turn, I guess. Thalia. That is actually a little annoying. Weirdly enough, I think I'm supposed to respond with Wandering Emperor. Otherwise, I can't Wandering Emperor and divide by 0. But then, if I do that, I have to hit the Archon with the Wandering Emperor. Or I can't divide by 0. If I don't want to hit the Archon with Wandering Emperor this turn, Then I just have to accept the Thalia. Yeah, I think that's okay. Galvanic Iteration divide by 0, I think at this point is enough that next turn I will no longer care about Sigardian Evangel, probably.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Oh, this plays badly around Skyclave Apparition. And we know they have one, too. Oh, shoot. Okay. Big mistake. Not the biggest in the world, but definitely an error. Unless they discarded one earlier. They did not. Yeah, error. Oh, they can't play Skyclave Apparition because of Archon of Emeria. Okay, no. That was still fine.
Guards, to me.
Okay. Unexpected conversions, pretty excellent. We need to get rid of teachings and turn it into a real card with that. Okay. Guess we'll go with blue. Is it going to ask me if I wanted to come in untapped, even though that's a lie? Oh, no, I could actually untap it. Because it specifically untaps it. Interesting. Very cute. Okay, Wandering Emperor downtick. I have removal for Archon of Emeria anyway.
The people.
No, untapping it actually was super correct. I'm probably supposed to foretell Behold the Multiverse and just hold up the one Fateful Absence. For mana efficiency's sake, since I can't cast 2 spells here anyway. If Archon attacks Wandering Emperor, I can just let that happen and not care. Weirdly, still in a position where Archon is actively good for me. Divide by 0 at this point gains me 2 life, because I should still have Environmental Sciences in my sideboard. Yeah, I'm inclined to just let this happen. Keeping Archon in play for as long as possible is good.
Years of training. For this.
Fleeting Spirit, sure. End of turn, we give the opponent a card and make my stuff cost less mana. Divide by 0 is delightful, sure. Okay, pass the turn, all our mana up. This is the turn where I want to answer Archon and then double Galvanic Behold. 2, 3, Behold, yeah, and more than enough mana to do that. I could actually just divide by 0 the Archon. I wonder if that's what I'm supposed to do. It goes towards finding us Magma Opus. I can also just take the damage from the Archon here. I don't want them being able to play multiple spells until next turn. Yeah, that auto-tapper is fine. Bounce the Archon. Environmental Sciences. This is our only Galvanic, but this is a pretty good opportunity to use it. So we Galvanic. We Galvanic. We cast Behold. Unexpected conversions, I guess, sort of interesting. No, we're going to draw enough cards. I don't need to top that yet. We want Magma Opuses. Hey, a Magma Opus. Don't want lands. Okay, those are fine. Hinata and Syncopate also fine. Lovely. I probably don't need the second Syncopate, though. Okay, third Syncopate. Why not? Land. Cool. Hinata. Cool. Okay. Let's see. No attacks. I don't see the reason to risk it this turn. Let's not discard cards if we don't have to. Kill Inquisitor Captain. Do they have Valorous Stance? Yeah, so they might Valorous Stance Hinata here. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Could divide by 0 this. I think that was slightly too little mana. So I'm probably just supposed to Opus the Adeline in response. Well, yeah. I think I discard the land here. I actually have a reason to want every other spell. Okay, so now we might actually die. They can tap down 4 things. Okay, no. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, Environmental Sciences costs 1 mana to gain 2 life. We can do that. Oh. But there was an Archon in play at this point, which is awkward. Okay, so no playing the Hinata then. Probably should have played the Hinata. Probably should have removed the Archon first. But yeah, at this point, we're kind of committed to removing the Archon. We have too many spells to do anything else. It's weird that this seems like I'm bullying, but I really do have to do all of this to play around Sigardian Evangel. Okay, that doesn't do anything. 23 cards in deck, sure. Divine Purge, not actually particularly castable right now. Play Hinata, attack some stuff. I believe this is the smallest number of creatures that I can... well, largest number of creatures that I can comfortably attack with. And I say that with 0 actual reason to believe that, and entirely only instinct. So if they Valorous Stance Hinata here, I get to Syncopate it for 1 mana. Alright, those can get first strike. How many cards in the graveyard? 10? Ah, so actually, like, infinity. This does stop the 4/4 from getting blocked at least, but yeah, error. Oh, it's 3 cards? Okay. I'm just going to end up Fateful Absencing one of them in response to this. Now that they don't have 2 mana, this seems like a good enough time to use this. They discard a card to blink it. That's fine with me. Saves my 2/2. And then they don't get a clue either. Okay, I accept it. I feel like that's a good trade for me. We're going to pretend that was all intentional. This is not the typical board state that I wind up in with this many tokens. This Divine Purge is really embarrassing. But the first Divine Purge did so much work, I think we can forgive it. Skyclave Apparition, huh? I believe that to be worth divide by zeroing. Actually, let's Silundi Vision in response. See if we hit a Magma Opus. We don't. We hit a Syncopate, though. Alright. Alright, let's Syncopate that for 5, then. gets the opponent to tap down completely. I should have done this for 6. I missed the Faceless Haven. Now I have to commit the other Syncopate. And I can't actually lethal here. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should probably still do it, though. Alright, 1 remaining land, 9 mana, 5 cards in the graveyard. Divide by 0 is a loot. 5 creatures tapped down. Any 2 creatures are lethal. No, I can leave 2 creatures unblocked, so I need 3 blockers after they tap down 5 of my creatures, possibly 6. Yeah, I don't know on the math on this one. Kind of taking some gambles here. I have 1 Opus remaining in the deck. How many Windfalls do I have left? 1. Okay, so holding the land has purpose. I believe I should be able to survive this with Divide by 0. If they hit the land, they resolve 4. Tap down 4. I have 2 blockers. 2. No, I'm 1 short. So I actually needed to attack with 1 less creature. But I'm good if they don't hit the untapped land. Or I'm good if Divide by 0 finds a removal spell. Okay. Cracking a clue. Alright. Not punished. In fact, rewarded. Because now they have to block every single 4-powered creature. Through my Divide by 0. Because they can't kill me this turn. And Hinata represents 4 in the air. The 2-2 and the 3-2 also represent damage when combined. Inquisitor Captain. Am I supposed to divide by 0 that? Probably. Okay, turned the Needleverge Pathway into a Needleverge Pathway. Success. Attacking with everything here. If they have Valorous Stance. Kill Hinata, block every 4/4, blink Fleeting Spirits. Trade with the 2/2. I probably can't survive Inquisitor Captain on the backstroke anyway. On 9 mana, Inquisitor Captain gets a Guardian Evangel, taps down 3 creatures. But they get a whiff. This everything is lethal against Valorous Stance. I think I'm supposed to accept losing to Valorous Stance. Okay, gosh. Alright, for our final round of Alchemy, we are against mono white aggro once again. This is not a keepable hand, and unfortunately we're on the draw. This is a keepable hand. We are still on the draw. Let's see. Second blue source, second red source. Probably supposed to accept the second red source. So Deserted Beach on turn 1, Needleverge on red turn 2. Seems correct. Hopefully don't get Thalia'd. We did not get Thalia'd. Probably just going to take this damage and then Syncopate a 3-drop. Be sad if the opponent plays a 2-drop that I have to Cathartic Pyre instead. Brutal Cathar, huh? Yeah, it's probably still worth Syncopating. But unfun to have to Syncopate. Maybe I'm supposed... No, I've got Divide by 0. I'm supposed to go for mana-efficient tempo use there. Yeah, we can Divide by 0 that, I guess. Not a lot of useful cards here. Guess we take Environmental Sciences. Still taking some damage. Hoping to top deck Hinata. How many 3 Skyclave Apparitions for Brutal Cathars? Okay, Brutal Cathar is easier to handle on Hinata, Skyclave Apparition less so. Don't top deck Hinata. Painful. Alright, that means we Unexpected Conversion, unfortunately. There's our Hinata. Get rid of Environmental Sciences. Tutor up something else with Conversion. Yes, unsurprisingly we don't have any in the hand. Whoa, the entire hand gets rearranged, very confusing. Okay, so Inquisitor Captain happens here. I guess we hope this doesn't hit Thalia. Oh, thank you for showing Syncopate Arena. Intrepid Adversary. Okay, I can live with that. This is actually a pretty salvageable spot. It's like specifically Skyclave Apparition that I'm going to have a problem against, but anything else I'm sort of okay against. Do I have a blue-red land I can hold up? I don't. That's awkward. So I have to actually choose whether I'm going to leave up Syncopate for 1 or Cathartic Pyre. And the answer to that is going to be Cathartic Pyre. Nope. Alright, so Cathartic Pyre gets to hold up an answer to Brutal Cathar. I just can't have an answer to Skyclave Apparition. I'm gonna block one of these creatures, taking 9. Cathartic Pyre, another one. What am I most likely to want a Cathartic Pyre? Okay, that's pretty brutal. The Vigilant thing, the thing that can gain protection later on. The life gain thing, the life gain isn't likely to matter. I think it's supposed to be Sun Gold Sentinel here. I feel like that activated ability is the thing that's most likely to hurt me in the long run. Taking 6 down to 5. Divide by 0, removing Skyclave Apparition gives us a blocker. So animating Faceless Haven next turn currently kills me. Drawing Hinata would be ideal. Drawing another Divide by 0 actually still sort of functions. Yeah, okay. Alright. Not like well, but at least some. Unfortunately, my Cathartic Pyre choice actually seems to have punished me a little here. We can take Mascot Exhibition. No matter what I bounce here, they get to put a creature into play that's actually sort of decent. Unfortunately. I wish I could bounce Faceless Haven, but that's not an option. I can, however, block Faceless Haven, which is probably what I'm supposed to do so they can't play something else this turn. Okay. Well, that still stops them from playing something else this turn. I believe I was on the draw. So we get to untap that and play Mascot Exhibition for blockers. Portable Hole hurts. Second Portable Hole is lethal. Yeah, okay. Wow. Alright. I mean, I assume they've had those in hand for a while. So the fact that they were finally useful at all is to their credit. Alright. 2 Abrades, 2 Divine Purges. Out the conversions, out the windfalls. Didn't I also cut Galvanics? I guess I left in unexpected conversions then. Alright, what are they boarding in? Spellbinders, Wandering Emperor, Valorous Stance, possibly Wedding Announcement. They might board in Raidane. Definitely board in Skyclave Apparition. Okay. Still have Forthalia, yes. Okay. Yeah, and we just gotta ship it.
Announcement received. Round timer started.
It did it. Okay. Alright, we'll take the play. I like Divine Purge, but that's not a keepable hand at all. This, on the play? Okay. I do have to ship a Hinata, which kind of hurts, because they have enough answers to Hinata, but... Alright, what is this going on? White, probably? Probably white. Blue land, huh? Weirdly enough, I think I actually have to bottom that. I want my next set of draws to include land, but I want it to include slightly less land on average. Okay, well, I guess that dictates me playing this on blue, probably. Thalia here forces me to play Behold the Multiverse. I would like to play it after a Spellbinder if they wind up playing Spellbinder. Wouldn't mind if they miss a land drop. Would make my life a tiny bit easier. Okay, that resolves. Probably means they missed a land drop. Definitely want one land. Alright, more lands. Playing Hinata here is pretty strong if they miss the land drop, but could be vulnerable if they don't. Playing... No. I can't play Hinata plus protection next turn because there's a Thalia in play. So the Syncopate isn't Force Spike. So I'm just supposed to play the Hinata. Alright, no Skyclave Apparition, please. No Valorous Stance either? Oh, it can't be Valorous. Yeah, Valorous Stance cost 4 mana. Alright, Skyclave Apparition it is. That's probably not something I can recover from unless I top decked a board wipe right there. Brutal. I kind of deserve it after the last game, though. Okay, attacking with everybody. Now I'm dead to Valorous Stance. Probably have to get Mascot Exhibition here. Strong chance I need to block Thalia. Yep, okay. Ah, the untapped white land for the Skyclave Apparition. Well, I knew there wasn't really a way that I could play around it. I'll take 50-50 against mono white. I'll take it.